the Barbarian party is, because I had a player that spelled barbarian Barbarian. Never let him forget. Oh yeah, that's the Barbarian character, Chuck, huh? Barbarian.
All right. So, I think all in all, there is progress that can be done here. You guys are on the right path. The Rage, I think you're also on the right path. I think we just need a little bit more work on things. I know a lot of this social stuff can be hard, but there is an important value in it, and I think you have the potential to do it the right way. We can do it. We know we can do it. We gotta yell hard. No, yelling will not solve it. This is one of the times where not yelling is more valuable than yelling. Oh, this is so hard.
There's so many adult men that don't get that fucking lesson.
You can use your indoor voice and people will...
This is my indoor voice!
You knew the answer was coming. There's only one response to use your indoor voice. This is my indoor voice.
That, like when people do that thing and they're like, stop yelling, and you're like, I'm not yelling, but your voice is definitely louder than it normally is.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Is there a copy in the library of how to win friends and influence enemies that they could read or something?
They probably wouldn't read it. That reading is really hard and hurts.
Yeah. The book would be used for toilet paper.
That's assuming they're let in the library with that voice.
Guys, I found this book over here! It's got, like, naked people in it.
Oh my god.
That's a biology textbook. Yeah, but this naked person...
I mean, you can really see inside.
Alright, so... the class kind of wraps up. Phelan agrees to meet with the Rage a couple more times.
Professor, a moment of your time.
Oh yeah, yes. What do you have?
Okay, so I was doing my sling practice because diligence always pays off, and a individual, and I described Lever, clipped elf ears, said that there was a mix-up in the pictures, and people think, and I explained that situation, and I said, and we were given a document that they cannot confirm, they cannot transfer because it is from one of the angrier planes, and
Lower
they
plane.
believe.
Call it what you will. Everybody's got a different name for it.
The cosmology is a great wheel, so spokier. I don't know.
This cosmology is not a great wheel. Please stop referring to my cosmology. Please stop referring to the world's cosmology incorrectly.
Whatever. So this cosmology is shaped like a giant torus, and you're either inside the donut hole or outside. And
he seems to be looking at you more angry as you say that.
So we were given this letter, and I handed it, and we none of us could recognize the language. We were going to have it translated.
He unrolls it and is looking over the letter. I'm not familiar with this before. There's a language that's been starting to come up recently, but I haven't understood why until more recently. There is a language that how do I even start to explain this? It's like the language of undeath. The clerics of Delanmian have been starting to circulate this language. I'm unsure where they found it from, but this looks very similar to it, but there's some differences between this and the normal. There are some, and he'll like unfurl it and start showing you guys a couple of bits and pieces of it. There are some marks here that are abyssal marks, and he'll circle with his finger a couple of them, and as he does, like a little floating circle will appear above it, and these other marks over here, which are infernal-esque. It's very strange. This violates a number of writing principles for both languages, for really all three, but I'm not as familiar with this new language that Delanrian is starting to divine to her followers. This Necril, I believe she calls it. Necril, Necral. I don't know the proper translation. There's only been a few documents circulating about it.
If we were to speak with someone at the Delanrian temple or what have you, would they be able to translate this?
They would not be willing to translate. Much like the Druidic circles, those who know of Necril are not willing to share Necril.
Would it be easier just to cast a read magic spell on it and then copy it?
He explains to you that he cannot. His little device does actually comprehend text languages, and it is not able to read this properly.
Well, that's intriguing.
Well, comprehend languages has some strange limitations at times. If the words don't match up directly with things that it could translate, if this is, for example, some kind of coding, then it would not be able to convert what the words even are, especially if they're not using words that are actual words. If they're just using letter characters, but modifying each of the letter characters to be something else.
Well, in your learned opinion, do you believe this is a mixing of languages or is this a code?
I think it's probably a bit of both, in all honesty. I think that you can mix languages only so far, right? But these marks aren't even consistent. And he finds another couple of letters, and he shows the symbols are on this one, but they're not on this one. So I believe this is designed to get you a couple of different ways, and these abyssal and infernal marks are designed to tell you where the script is supposed to be changed over. A regular reader would just look at this and think it's just the scratchings of some sort of Delanrian follower, and may not think twice about it. But taking a look at this, it's very clear there are some deliberate separations.
Is it possible? Is there any clue in the letter to let us know where it came from or who might have written it?
Good point. Hold on.
That is a great point.
He will reach down, pull out, open up his drawer, and pull out a glove that he'll put on his hand. And he will, it wraps up his arm a little ways, and then wraps up and then around his head. And then he will reach down and touch the book. Or touch the piece of paper. And as he does so, he passes out.
I'm gonna try and
Wow.
shake him.
Yeah, if you shake him, he'll come out of it, or he'll wake up, but he literally collapses on the floor. The piece of paper falls, and he'll slowly get up. Oh, that...
You okay?
No, it hurt. Oh, God, that hurt, and I really need to lose some weight. Oh, God.
What happened? You passed out when you were trying to get information on the letter.
This is and it'll unwrap it. This item is able to give me a peek, and he puts the glove back into the drawer, sometimes into the origin of where this comes from. However, sometimes when you use it, if you tap into sources of great power, they may have done things to protect them that are not visible by magical means.
Huh.
One day I would like to discuss with you more about some of what I'm referring to here, but that's a very rough and complicated lesson.
So were you able to get any information other than it being protected?
It is protected. I basically just simply get sort of violently pushed out of any information I could gather.
Do we know what kind of people would be protecting letters? Like, is that something everybody has the ability or access to do?
No, this would have to be something of substantial power, and it would confirm at least that this is from the from some part of the Outer Planes.
Well, what should we do? Did the elf ask you for you to do anything with this, Erasmus?
He had been trying to read it, and for the life of me, I can't remember what he asked me to do with it. He handed it to us and basically was like, "We will know what to do with this." I have his information. We can go visit him.
Very good. I'm going to leave it to the four of you to follow up on this. I don't want to arouse any suspicion here with me visiting class members that aren't in my class as of current. If you don't mind, I would like to take the note to Kandor, and hopefully he is an expert in languages, and so he might be able to get some kind of translation, or maybe figure out at least some semblance of how this might be put together.
Okay. That
Thank you.
makes sense. So maybe, maybe you guys will come up with some great questions for Levere, who will probably be dead when we go to his room or something like that. Because that's the way Lazard, and because that's the way things have been going. So, how far are we in the day?
This is like basically about noon, in the day's time.
Let's regroup with a light snack and figure out our portion today. I'm not in the mood for some fully loaded potato skins, so maybe just down to the cafeteria for a lemonade.
Cafeteria is making sandwiches today.
All
Ooh,
right.
what sort of sandwiches?
Lots of different kinds of sandwiches. They have, like, it's one of those, like, build your own sandwich out of meats and cheeses, and they've got vegetables set up.
Huh?
Could I do they have any other options? Like, do they have like vegetarian options or anything?
Their vegetarian options are they have vegetables and cheeses. So,
do they have like an egg salad maybe?
Yeah, they do have egg salad.
I guess I'll order 2 egg salad sandwiches, but I'll remove the bread and just eat the egg salad.
Okay. So yeah,
make a smoothie and I'll bring it to the cafeteria.
Okay. Cafeteria lemonade tastes like it's made up largely of sugar with a hint of lemon flavor.
Oh, that's a shame.
Sounds about right.
I was thinking it would be like the lemonade we've got in the Marine Corps, which tasted like packets of flavoring.
No. This is largely sugar. It's heavily sweetened, and it almost tastes like it's just magically like somebody magically flavored a very large batch with like a lemon taste.
Oh, that's funny. This will be fine.
People won't know the difference.
All right. So,
Lazer.
This person, Lazer.
Like laser, but like laser A, but invert the A and the E.
Lazer, he is French. What questions can we come in and ask him? That way we're kind of like operating at peak effectiveness.
So we're prepared for once, you mean?
Yeah, well, we do try to be prepared. We just, I couldn't think of anything because I was actually in the middle of sling practice at that time. So, maybe where did he get the letter? If he knows anything else.
I thought it was just delivered to him incorrectly.
Yeah, he got it from a delivery company because they
Yes,
confused
a
him
parcel
with somebody
company,
else.
yeah.
Yeah, somebody they gave the description of the Doncho they had from the book.
Maybe there's nothing we need to ask him then.
Maybe we could try and see what delivery company it was, I guess.
Yeah, because it is strange that a delivery company would have information like, like the image of him from a book, when a delivery company should know what the difference between one person's name is and another.
Okay. Anybody else have any other ideas?
Nothing comes to mind. I mean, other than just finding out a little more about where he got this, or which company he got this from, and
maybe what the delivery person looked like too, because maybe this wasn't even someone from an actual company. It could have just been a guy's.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Okay. All right, I'm writing all these down. Anything else?
What do you think, Comstock?
I can't really think of anything else.
All right, then do we just want to go on and then kind of hope for the best?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Anybody can think of anything we need to do before we go?
I hope not. We don't expect to be attacked at his residence, do we?
Well, there have been a lot of strange things going on, so I'm not ruling it out. I'm also going to be honest. I am convinced when we go there, he's going to be dead.
Why do you think that?
What's that?
Why do you think that?
Because that's the kind of thing that's been happening. So, I feel we should be ready in case he's unconscious or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe have some first aid stuff. I mean, I could be wrong.
I hope you are.
I hope so too. All right, let us sally forth.
Okay. The four of you can head over to his room.
So much to do, so little time. Scratch that. Reverse.
Yeah. His room is there. The door is shut.
Knock.
Yeah. You knock at the door. You'll hear the door open. Yeah, who's there? Who are you? What do you want?
Is it Lever?
No.
Hi, I'm looking for Lever.
There's no Lever here. You mean Lazaire?
Lazaire. Damn it. Lazaire. Yes, Lazaire. Damn it.
Fuck. I don't know. He goes places all the time. Fucking loser.
Huh. When's the last time you saw him?
This morning when he left.
Where did he go?
Fuck, I don't know. The hell is this? You guys the fucking Rangers here?
No, of course not.
Why would we be Rangers?
Like, coming up here asking a whole bunch of questions about where Lazaire is? Why you fucking bother me about this shit?
Wow.
Did he do something bad? Should I? No, what the fuck is the rage? Sounds like some kind of terrible line of clothes.
No, he's not in any trouble as far as we know. We just were wanting to meet with him.
Man, he fucking should be.
Why?
He's a fucking narc.
He narked on you?
All the time. Says I'm too noisy, doesn't like the things I eat or drink or, inhale.
I see. Friends, huh?
You don't get to pick who you room with.
Oh, I know.
I don't believe I make noise. Thank you.
Yes,
right,
you were entirely silent the entire time we're in our room.
What's that?
Nothing.
Would you be willing to pass a message along if you see him?
Fuck no. I'm not gonna remember you guys were here probably in 20 minutes.
Can we leave a note for him and tape it to, like, his door?
Hey, you guys can put whatever you want on the door. I don't know if anybody will take it or not. I don't know.
Alright.
You guys want to, I don't know, you could put the note somewhere. The place is kind of a wreck, though. Where he, like, opens the door a little more and he shows you around, and there's just, like, there is a lot of, like, trash and other, like, various things scattered about the room. And there's, like, a very small area around a single bed that is, like, almost a circle of clean.
His roommate's got a neckbeard nest.
You guys could probably put it on the bed or something.
Okay. Fair enough. We write a note investigating the letter. Wanted to ask more questions about the delivery person. Please contact me, Erasmus, member of the Pact, and etc.
Okay. Alright, is that all you needed?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool, I'm gonna go pass out later.
He's a delight.
While he's passed out, do we want to poke around the, I don't know, Lazaire's bedroom or anything? See if we see anything out of the ordinary?
Ooh, good.
We should check the, closet or dresser, wherever it looks like he might keep his clothes, to see if, like, he's, packed his clothes or something.
Who's got the sneaky skills to do that? Or do you just want to, like, go in while the guy's passed out?
Passed out.
I mean, yeah, but you can still wake him up. There's trash literally everywhere.
No, buy him booze, get him drunker until he passes out, and then just go through it at our convenience.
Okay, so a little while later, Nikolai and Brianna will sneak back in. The door is unlocked, so you can get in. Yeah, and what do you want to look around for?
I want to, like I said, look if he has, like, a dresser or a closet, maybe somewhere that might look like he might keep his clothes.
There's, like, a small, like, almost cabinet of sorts. I guess more like it is a pit dresser, like a side table, really.
Okay, I will look in there.
Yeah, it's got a couple of outfits in it. The top has, like, 2 outfits, and the bottom has some undergarments. Give me a perception. Ooh, very good. As you are looking through that, you will find a very small book.
I will look at the book.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at the book. Okay. You will find that this is a private journal.
Oh.
It's open?
Yeah, it's not locked. It does not have a lock on it.
I will look at the most recent entries just to see if there's anything, like, was he concerned about anything, just trying to piece together.
Yeah, he's got a note in there where he basically says, like, some guy came up to me, said I was Doncho, said he was some kind of delivery person, and gave me a note and said, like, I'm supposed to read it, it's really important, and then, like, took off almost as fast as he showed up.
He doesn't say anything about whether he read it.
A little while later, there is a thing about how he brought it to a friend of his to look at, and his friend didn't know anything about what the letter said.
But it looks like a normal amount of stuff here. It doesn't look like he's fled recently.
No, he's got stuff here. Like, there's stuff in that container or in the shelves, in the drawers that he has. There's a couple of things underneath the bed that are affects. But yeah, so it doesn't look like he, like, picked up everything and ran.
Okay. I will place the book back where I found it and close the dresser.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to see here, do you?
Yeah, I guess we'll try to leave.
Yeah, you can give me another stealth check to get out quietly.
Oh my god, no!
You guys with it?
So Nikolai gets right out the door, and Brianna, you're right behind Nikolai. And Nikolai fucks up and closes the door behind him.
Stealthy.
Yeah, no, you do correctly. You're out of the room.
But I closed.
But you close the door. Like, it's instinct for you, you know? You're coming out a door, you just reach back, close the door. And Brianna, you're like just double checking everything to make sure. And you turn your head, and right in that moment, and you slam into the door.
Oh gosh.
Oh, what's going on? Who are you?
Just I was looking for someone. I'm sorry. I must be in the wrong place.
No, you're in the right place. Come here.
That's okay. Just go back to sleep.
I'm awake now, I think.
Oh, good God.
If you like, I can sing you back to sleep.
No, I think you could, like, be a better help other ways.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah. Come
I'm
on.
gonna open the door back up because she hasn't come out yet.
Okay. You open back up the door. What? Who the hell is that?
We're on our way out, Brianna. Let's go.
All right.
Brianna.
God,
Okay.
I shouldn't have said your name. Now he's gonna be dreaming about you.
That's awesome.
You wouldn't be the first.
She visited me like an angel.
But would
And
he
he
be
wanted
the
an angel that I'm
creepiest?
not aware.
Yes.
All right. So you can meet back up. The two of you can meet back up with everybody with the information you managed to get.
All right. So, doesn't look like that he's trying to run or he had any concerns about someone following him or anything like that. We found his journal, and he just basically recalled being mistakenly given the letter, and it looked like that he tried to get a friend to translate it, but they had no luck. From what we know from the professor, that seems pretty plausible that that's what happened, and so as far as we know, he's coming back. He's just, out, I guess, for now.
But other than that, nothing weird.
Nothing weird. I mean, other than the fact that he clearly is very neat and his roommate clearly isn't.
How many parcel delivery companies are there in this neck of the woods?
Not many. Give me a knowledge local. Yep, there you go. There are exactly 2.
Who are they?
They are. Let's get me on the spot here. Gotta remember this.
They are MHL, Mearachd,
No.
and Mearachd X.
No.
MedX. Yes, I think those are the names.
No. MedX sounds terrible.
Banana Flies Express.
No. So I'm trying to remember. The names aren't coming to me at the moment, but one of them is basically like sponsored by the central government system, much like our post office. The other one is an independent courier service. There's often a big designation. Like smaller items usually go through the government-backed thing, but the larger parcels are usually delivered by the private organization. The private organization is like better equipped to deal with those larger deliveries. You can still ship the larger parcels through the others or the smaller parcels through the other, but there is a big difference in what the cost is going to be because it's not really what they do by default. and they really haven't sort of moved into each other's territories. But I cannot.
Okay,
for the
so
life
one
of me
does
recall
small parcels.
Yeah, one is small parcels and is government run, and the other one is large parcels and is an independent company.
Well, we should start with that one, huh?
Which one?
The smaller one.
Okay.
Would that be the same service I would use to send a letter to Trent?
So to send a letter to Trent, you would do that, and then it would leave from here via the naval communication system, and
the
then
naval communication system.
Yes, the naval communication system. So that is a network of independent boating operators who will move parcels from different locations over the sea.
Over the sea.
Since sea travel is very dangerous, it really has only come down to one organization that can kind of maintain that, and they work as a global unit.
So I will suggest. I said, let me pen a quick letter to Trent. I was meaning to do that anyway, and then we'll have a reason for going there, and maybe we're just curious how things work.
Works.
All right, so I will write a quick letter to Trent, basically just telling him that we miss him, and that the party is lacking for his fashion guidance.
Life's disgusting.
And I'll just basically tell him that we went into the woods for Professor Phelan and came back, and everything worked out pretty well there. I specifically am not putting details like names or what we were after, but just more like generally telling him, oh yeah, he sent us to go get something and we got it, and it was fine. There was no, everything seemed
safe.
It was safe
here.
That's
I had a great date and I was safe on it.
Oh yeah, I'll tell him about that too, and then tell him, please come back soon or something.
Give me a diplomacy and how you're penning it.
All right.
Cool. Very good.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be so convincing.
So
I'm gonna say, Trent, things are happening. You should be here. Erasmus.
No diplomacy needed for that one.
Yes.
All right, so you guys can head over to the Phoenician Courier Network. Some people call it the F Corps.
F Corps.
Yep. There is a small outlet in Mearachd that you can head over to. That's kind of like the local post office equivalent.
Nice.
And yeah, there will be people at a front counter that will speak with you after a bit of waiting in line.
Brianna is officially now designated as the face of the group.
Yes.
Madame, if you will.
Hello.
Yeah, what can we do for you?
Oh, hi, I'm Brianna.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name's Joe, and they point to their name tag.
Oh, what a nice name. Okay. Well, I actually have a couple letters to send to a friend of mine.
Okay, we can do that.
Trent Shade.
You got an address?
I have the address that Copernicus gave us.
Okay.
So I'll recite that.
All right. Yep. He'll etch it in there with some arcane markings. All right. That'll be. Let's see. It's gonna be 1 silver, please.
Okay, certainly. I will pay him a silver.
Okay.
Oh, oops.
That be all for you?
Well, I think we had some questions.
There's a bit of line, so make them quick, please.
Okay, sorry. I appreciate your time. So how does this work? How do you ensure that you get the right person?
Well, you gave me an address.
But I mean, how do you know? Like, do you have pictures of people? How does it? How do they?
No, we have addresses. So you give us an address, and we drop it off at the center, the postal center. The addresses will normally have numbers on them. Now, sometimes if they don't have numbers on the addressing, or maybe there's some irregularity to it, it might get dropped off at some like local branch thing. So, like for example, this happens sometimes here in the university. Somebody won't put their room number on things, and it'll end up in like the mail room of the school, and the school will have to figure out how to get it to who it's supposed to go to. But that becomes on them. They've had the same thing happen to the ranger station. Sometimes it goes to the central ranger office and then is redistributed from there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that eases my mind then, since I have the exact address.
It'll definitely get there. This is well, assuming a boat doesn't sink. You know, Dashwood gets a little bit pissy at times, but it should be fine. Say 95% chance, somewhere around there.
Okay, thank you. Did you guys have any other questions quickly for this fellow?
How do we find out who delivered a letter? I'm going to pull you aside and ask you that. If I may confer, do we want to know who delivered this letter? How would we find that out? Like, is there a mail carrier?
I don't know that he'd be able to tell us. I mean...
Speak up. I can't hear you when you're whispering to each other like that.
I apologize. My friend was wondering, is there a way to find out like who delivered a letter?
Well, the local carrier would do that. So there's usually only one local carrier for your area if you're around the school.
Okay.
And that local carrier, or courier, they would keep saying, sorry. That local courier would, take it to where it's supposed to go. It would be in a, usually it's wrapped up and it's like, you got the symbols on the letter to make sure it's going to go where it's going to go. You just fold up the paper, seal it with your signet, with your emblem, and it'll get where it's going. So
right. So we need to. Okay. Thank you very much. And I'd like to purchase some commemorative stamps.
What are stamps?
I guess they don't have them. Okay.
If we have some commemorative. Why am I fucking forgetting? What is the thing that you seal it with? It's not you seal it. A signet ring plus wax equals. Why can't I remember the name? What that's called? It's just a seal. It's a seal. Thank you. I don't know why the word seal by itself, sealed, jumped in my head. Seal did not. So they have commemorative seals that you can purchase. What they do is like when they get like certain seals from different organizations, they will cut the seal off of the thing. They have a special mark that gets put over the front of the seal to make it so that it can't be reproduced or so that it can't be reused to try to like defraud this system. But you can then they sell those if you wanted to buy some commemorative seals. But there's not a stamp system. In order to mail something, you do have to pay someone directly to have it mailed.
Now we know. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll buy a commemorative seal.
Okay. So you can buy a commemorative seal of the country, which is a phoenix, or you can buy one from a number of different countries.
What is the one for the Tower Elves where I'm at?
Ooh, so you actually get one that looks kind of like it's like one big building and then like a couple of smaller buildings like next to it.
Cool. Nice. And I'll buy the local one as well.
Okay.
We're
so the local one has like the university etched into it.
These are snazzy. I need to send some mail just to use these.
Well, you can send more letters to Trent, I guess.
Dear Trent, shit is happening. Erasmus. Okay.
before we leave, I'll say, oh, I have one other thing. I need to send to someone here in the university. Can I give that to you as well?
Sure.
Okay. So
Ooh, that's good.
I am writing I have a letter that I've addressed to Brianna in my dorm number.
Okay.
And I hand it to him.
Okay. He will, again, make the arcane marks on the thing, and then charge you the silver.
All right. I will pay it.
That's slick.
And then he'll ask if you have a seal that you want to put on it.
Oh, my friend just bought one. Do you want to put a seal on it,
Yeah, let's
Erasmus?
put one for the university.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, so you put the university one on it. They'll seal it down. And yeah, we'll be ready to go.
All right. We will thank him for his time and step away so someone else.
I think we've done a good job there.
Okay. So that'll get you a meeting with the courier tomorrow.
Good job. Good thinking.
If you wait at your room all day for whenever that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, does the courier otherwise just leave it, or do they require some sort of confirmation?
That actually you can ask about as well. Joe will clarify that if there's no one at the room when they go to deliver it, it will end up back at the mail office.
And then someone has to pick it up there?
Then someone will have to pick it up there. A notice is left on your door whenever that happens. There's a prefab notice that they have. You bring it back. Like, they basically carry around a package of them. They leave them on the door. You bring them back to the office, and the office will eventually will re-hand them out when exchanges occur. So.
All right.
Maybe you should have sought yourself a package that way you know at least feel delighted when you you know.
I figure we can have a dorm party tomorrow while we wait on this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good idea of you.
Thank you.
Anything else you all want to do then the rest of this day?
I'd like to seek out Agnar.
Okay.
When I get an opportunity.
What about the rest of you?
You know, I'm going to research this Necro language. Or is it Nero?
Necro.
Necro.
Mm-hmm.
Necro. I'm going to research this Necro language because I just find this whole thing intriguing.
Okay. Do you have any ranks in linguistics?
I have nothing.
You can still make me a flat roll in linguistics, considering you're going to be researching it in the library.
Okay. Oh, no, I have one in linguistics.
Okay.
Hey, look at me. 15.
Yeah, so you're going to be looking through the library, but you're not going to find a lot on Necro. It is like this is something that is very, very new. And is only starting to kind of emerge. And is still being kept somewhat secret.
It's being workshopped.
Yeah. What about the rest of you?
I want to look into getting some of these, what were they, glib potions?
Glibness potions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a knowledge local or a diplomacy. Your choice.
Well, that's a pretty easy choice.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you can start looking around for a bit. You'll find a few people around campus that have actually on hand a couple of glibness potions. One sec, I gotta remember. That and yeah, so they are willing to sell them for around 1,000 gold each.
Is there any kind of student discount here?
I mean, I could probably do it for like 900, maybe. You're gonna use it for class.
I'll have to wait on this then.
Sorry, they're really rough to make.
What makes them so difficult?
It's a very high circle spell. It's third circle. And you very specifically have to be, working in the some level of the musical profession.
Makes sense to me.
Does it help that one of my friends is a bard?
I mean, they might learn to be able to do it themselves.
All right. Well, thanks for the info.
You're welcome.
Generally, anything that enhances a stat is incredibly expensive, regardless of the addition. Those are always the most expensive items.
Well, this would be temporary as a potion, but it's because it's a third circle bard spell, and it's only a bard spell. There's nothing else that can cast it. So you have to be 6th level before you can even make it. You have to be a bard that also specialized in making potions, which is just a rarity in and of itself.
You mean you're not getting a lot of those?
No. Kind of weird that I'm not, but yeah, not a lot of them in the university. But you
Okay, anybody else can think of anything else that we could do at this time that would be rocking?
I need to figure out how to get a better, bag or something.
Okay. What kind of stuff are you looking to carry around?
Apparently my money.
Okay.
Because it's weighing me down.
'Cause you're a baller?
Give me a knowledge local.
I thought didn't you buy one of them HHs? Or was that just Trent?
Nope, that was Neo.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And
sorry.
Trent, yeah.
Trent.
Yeah, Neo and Trent.
With a bit of looking around, you will, and kind of asking around the campus, you will find people selling these pouches.
Ooh, pouches.
It's a little pouch that can store up to 10 pounds of stuff, and it will only weigh 1 pound.
What's it called?
It is called a Pathfinder pouch.
How much are they asking?
They are normally they go for 1,500 gold. And they explain it lets you you can turn it off so that people can't see what's on the inside, and then you turn it on when you need it. But I'll tell you what, I could give it to you for around 1,200.
Huh. Magical pouches, eh?
What do you think?
I think I could do that.
Good.
1,200 gold?
Yeah.
You just gonna throw that kind of money around? How do you have that much money, girl?
He's not buying shit.
I still have the note and I have the 600 gold. I haven't bought anything. Except for
Oh, actually, if you're trying to pay with the note, he's like, no, I'm not. I can't take your note.
Snap! Go to hell.
I'm sorry. The notes. Yeah. Things start to get a little. Yeah. They won't let me redeem notes anymore.
Oh, not suspicious at all.
It's not suspicious, man. I'm doing a deed for good people. Not everybody who wants one of these is bad. They just don't understand, you know? But, since you're asking about one, maybe if you got some extra coin, maybe you want something that you were going to store in it? I get access to whatever you're looking for. You seem confused.
I don't think you want to give me more money.
No, never mind. You're. I don't think you. I don't. Okay, you're looking for this for a different reason.
Yes.
Well, Wish I could take that note. Well, I'm sorry. I can't. Unfortunately, I can't help you here.
I'll come back to this later if I get the money.
Thank you. Okay.
I don't know how I feel about magic items. I feel like when I buy magic items, I'm cheating my spell power, but some of these arcanist abilities suck.
So, Brianna, you can go find Agnar. He is where he normally is. Still early enough.
Oh, hello. Again.
Hello.
I had some questions. And I thought maybe you being knowledgeable might be able to help me out.
I can answer quite a number of questions. It was odd of you not to show up the other night. I suppose plans changed?
Well, apologies. I would have really enjoyed being there, but I had already had a prior commitment that Donovan.
I know. I'm surprised. What a unique choice.
You know, I think once you get to know him, it's. I don't know. I think people dismiss him because of his passion for bats, but he's
I would
a very
agree,
nice
but
person.
he's a very passionate person, and he's a very upstanding person. A lot of people don't give him, I think, the credit that he deserves. But I don't know. I just would not have thought that for you.
Well, I mean, I'm not really a exclusive type person, so. But I apologize. I should get back to why I'm here. I was actually curious about someone called the Mistress.
My.
Ah, you've come to ask the right person. I find that there are a lot of great things that you can learn from a number of different directions you can go in life. And the Mistress is a wonderful, wonderful way you can learn about a great deal of things.
Well,
Oh my!
I would.
I'm not ready for whatever's about to happen here. I need to turn my volume off. I'm not old enough for this. Yeah.
I was told by a close friend that I should seek out and follow the Mistress, and you know, I figured that you probably would have knowledge. I would like to learn about her.
Well, it is important that if you want to, here in Mearachd, we have some rules. When the Mistress started to present herself around the campus, she was caught in a bit of a complicated situation between her. Well, I don't want to get too complicated into the details, but her and both Shishat and Thoth were having a bit of a tryst. And as such, there were some complications that came out of how she was presented here in the campus. And unfortunately, that's really all the details I can give you, unless you can manage to get her to reply with the right phrases. You need to know certain things before you can find out more certain things. You need to figure out what the Mistress wants from you, and then she will reveal to you secrets of what maybe your heart desires.
I see. Okay. Well, you've given me a lot to think on. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
And, you know, hopefully we can have a date of our own in the future.
I'm certain that will happen again. But for now, let's see how you do on this whole Mistress thing.
I agree. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So where do we go from here?
It's been some pretty good information gathering, but we haven't really gotten anything super solid as of yet. Everything is just kind of got to coalesce. I'm gonna meet everybody back at the dorm. I didn't get much on this language. It is, as Professor Phelan said, very secretive, and attempts to learn it are obscured. It is also very new, which is interesting. So we're waiting for that package to deliver tomorrow. Does anybody else have any other ideas or any potential leads we could follow up? I believe we're only about a little over halfway through the day.
Well, Brianna was serious when she was like, "Oh, let's just have a dorm party while we wait on this thing to arrive." So after her meeting with Agnar, she would want to like pick up, some snacks, things that are pretty much already prepared, because she's not really much of a cook. So she's just, want to pick up some snacks and, I don't know, things to do, and
okay.
While we're waiting on this package, basically.
All right. Anything else from Konstag or Nikolai? Okay.
I'm gonna check in with the club that I'm trying to join.
Yeah. So they're happy to see you come back in. They right now are talking about more composite elements, how they can fuse together at this point different types of gems to create new types of gems.
Like a emerald?
Yes. They appreciate your suggestion, as they are presently having some issues where one of the things they've been trying to do to test some of the things is using fabrication exercises. So like taking the fabricate spell and then trying to produce things that don't naturally exist, but things that if you had the right ability to do certain things might be able to exist. And people have had mixed results with it. It seems that some things are more stable than others, and do have different results when used with different spells. One of the biggest things that people are playing around with right now, let me look at something real quick and make sure I have the name of these spells right.
The name of this club again?
I don't remember if I gave it a specific name, but it is basically a club that talks about...
Club is what I called it.
Yeah, it's a spell components club.
It's a club for people that are obsessed with getting the most effective spell components.
Maybe they can help you with good grades too.
I believe my grades are fine, except for some issues. Boy, I could see somebody's going to be studying really loudly in the room tonight. There'll be some angry journaling that might keep somebody up.
Angry journaling. I would enjoy hearing that.
There it is.
I told some of my other nerd friends that I had a character that was journaling, and they were like, "Oh, he must have a high intelligence." And I was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all high intelligence characters are required to journal. It's a law." It was pretty funny.
I feel like angry journaling would just be like Erasmus's version of a burn book.
Lousy. Angry journaling. I can hear the pen on the paper. Stop it.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of playing around with using some of the items as focuses. Some of the items that are either fabricated or that they're using like minor and major creation to play around with. But it gets very expensive to test these things out because you have to create the object, like sustain it for a while, test the spells out. But they are having some very interesting results on it. Go ahead.
When you are fusing two gems together, do you have them appraised to see if they've lost value? Because the magic seems to be directly tied to the value of the gem.
We didn't think about the appraisal part. That's a fair point. We have noticed that there does seem to be some sort of intrinsic monetary tie to certain objects. But the monetary tie seems to be semi-relative. So that is an interesting point. If it diminishes one part of the value or increases another part of the value, I wonder if that may be why some of the foci have not been have not been rendering things out correctly.
Hmm.
We've been assuming that whatever you produce, it's relative size based. But you're right. If for example we do a sabby, we end up with something that might be producing something at a sapphire effect, but only at a ruby's value.
Using my appraise knowledge, because I did put points in appraise.
Yeah.
The other thing is certain gems, of course, specifically emeralds, but to a lesser degree rubies. If a flaw is cleared, often the flaws in those two gems provide higher value. So my question would be then, and I'd love to get in on this work, how does this in regard to things such as clarity and color?
We would be excited to have you. You have such a great understanding of the values and how gems work.
2 points in appraise.
I will give me an appraise check in front of them real quick. Let's see how impressed.
I'm kissing up to the nerds, everybody. It's my dreams. This is going to be when I get it too.
I hope you shine.
Thanks.
That's not bad. That's more information than a lot of them have going into it. So you're offering up some good details and some good pointers on values, and they will bust out something to let you try it. They pull out a pair of gloves and hand them to you and tell you can. This is simply a pair of gloves that happen to have the minor creation ability built into them. So you can create any very small object that you'd like. But perhaps you can, with your understanding of how these things are valued, perhaps you might be able to manufacture them in a way that might be more valuable or valid in a circumstance.
Huh. I'll try them on.
Yeah, you can put them on, and you can basically put your hands together and kind of grind your hands together, and then separate your hands. And in whichever hand is your lower hand, the small object will appear. It is a 1 cubic foot per caster level object, or I'm sorry, it is a 1. Hold on, minimum is that. So it is a 28 cubic foot object that you can make.
I'm going to focus on making, because a pearl is in a lot of, I'm going to focus on making a really small pearl, but as refined as possible, and then compare it to a larger pearl, and then appraise the two.
Okay.
And see if that differentiates the two.
Yeah, give me an appraise. Actually, what you're doing here is So give me two appraises. Give me 2 appraises, because what you're doing each time.
29. Bam.
So yeah, you make the smaller one, and you make the larger one, and you will notice that the bigger you do make it, the lower the quality of the object is. But you like when you make the smaller one, you realize like the smaller one you weren't like sort of pushing the magic out correctly. So when you make the larger one, you try a lot harder, and you end up with better, of course, than the smaller quality one, but you can still see that the natural imperfections are kind of baked in. This would actually be a much lower value pearl if it were to be like very specific. If you could use this as a material component, it would not have the same value output because of how imperfect it is.
So although I'm inexperienced with this item, I created a decent pearl that was smaller, that per size has more value than this larger one. Although the larger one better.
Right now you have 2 that are kind of the same value, because you didn't do as good generating the small one, but you could tell it took less effort, less like focal effort for you to make a more valid one at a smaller size than to make this much larger one.
Okay. Yeah, so I could see that it took a smaller effort to make the smaller one. I think with experimentation with the gloves, I could produce higher quality items based on my knowledge of these kind of things, and we should get better results with these spell components and then we can work on fusing those two items now that we've effectively created quality items, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. So with some of your research, they already sort of knew the quality thing to some degree, but you like pointing out the size differential thing is something they had not like done the extra research time into. And then as you start blending the components together, go ahead and give me an appraise as you're generating one of these, and let me know what components you're trying to blend together.
So I'm going to try. Do they have sapphires and rubies?
Yes.
Because I'll try a sapphire and a ruby, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it a smaller gem overall to decrease the chance of lessening the value.
Yeah. So you do this, and you create this like kind of swirled red and blue gem that is very small and sitting in your hands, and it's a fairly high quality. It would be hard. Someone would almost think that you discovered some kind of new gem in the way that this looks, as opposed to it being flawed. But you, looking at it a little closer, can see there's a few imperfections on it, a few like small cracks on the inside, or like a couple of points where it's not as translucent as it normally would be. But it's a bit foggy, I think, or cloudy is the term they use, right?
Yeah.
But it does look more cohesive than some of the examples that other people are showing on the table.
But so by focusing, I've reduced the number of imperfections. It is not as less cloudy. I'm sure you can see this because you guys are looking at gems all day. And I believe overall this will be a better spell component than one of its size, which I'm sure you've already been able to ascertain. But I think it's in the focus to create secondary quality items.
So with gems, we would need somebody who's more into gems than most likely than perhaps just being more into spell components themselves, is what your theory is here.
My theory is yes, we would need a level of expertise to make sure the goods themselves were solid, and then we would need someone to appraise it.
Excellent. I wonder then if maybe we should bring in some of the people from the mining groups and see if they'd be interested in taking a look and comparing some of these things. Some of those clubs get very excited about gems, and maybe we could do some kind of cooperative thing with them. I'm sure they'd be excited to see what kind of neat stuff we can make up with this.
Yes, that is fantastic.
Thank you for your insight.
I've been looking forward to joining this club. My adventures have taken me places, but at heart, I want to create. I have a passion for spell components. It is my raison d'être.
Okay.
My French pronunciation is still bad.
So this will give you sort of an unlock for your character that you're now aware of. You don't get the dual gem types, but this will unlock for you that if you decide you want to, when you need reagents for spells, material components, you can buy more valuable material components that are like higher quality material components, and they will actually improve the ability for your spells to function. So there are like masterwork versions of the things, and they can improve the DCs or some of the other effects of what it is that you're casting.
I'm so excited. I have to go home and write a short paper about this. You know what I mean? And update the dossier. This is very important stuff. Yes. And then I have to angrily journal at the end of a very successful day because of some roommate. I switch gears rather fast. There's a very loud journal writing.
Is there anything anybody else wants to do the rest of this current day before we move into the next day and waiting for the courier?
I just wanted to throw it out there that before I go to sleep, that I will have like a silent talk with the mistress.
Okay.
But if anyone else has stuff before that, that's fine. I just wanted to say I do want to do that before I go to sleep.
Yeah, let's do your conversation with the mistress, because I think everybody said no on the remaining stuff, right? Okay.
I want to go to Banana Flies.
I'm so giddy with all this gem and stuff.
I'll go for myself if no one else wants to go. It's fine.
I mean, I'll go with you. Yeah.
When I get back to the room, is there
have
nobody
to eat dinner.
there?
There's nobody there, yeah.
can't even hear me angrily journal. All right. I'm going to start working on my paper about gems, and then after about a good hour of writing, I will head over to the banana flies if they're still there.
Okay. You'll probably catch them as they're finishing up eating, but yeah. Is there anything particular over the banana flies table that you guys want to talk about, or?
Have you told us about the mistress information that you got?
I don't know if I necessarily mentioned that part. I just had mentioned that Comstock had another dream. But I guess I could, say to you guys, well, I was just visiting with Agnar.
How was that?
It went pretty well. I had some questions. Comstock mentioned that her dream said that my friend Goron wanted me to learn more about the mistress. And so, Agnar had a few things to share with me about that, so.
What did you learn?
Well, apparently, in order for me to know more, there's some words that I need to learn, so I guess at some point I'll have to, commune with her or something to get those words.
Interesting. Well,
What about you guys?
Well.
I'm coming in a la titter.
You look happy, Erasmus.
Yes, I just made some great inroads on the Spell Components Club and some theories I had about, combining gems appeared to be very good. And I got these nifty gloves that make things, and I make a small lump of
You
clay.
only have those on loan, so...
Okay. I can't be playing.
Correct.
All right, I'll tuck them back in there.
Yeah.
And then, when we get back, I got to do some angry journaling, and then, I'm...
Why are you angrily journaling?
Oh, people know why.
I look over at Nikolai, like, what's he talking about? Are you two fighting?
We're fine.
We never fight, thank you. We are excellent roommates.
Dramatic.
I like to put the passive and passive aggressive.
Well, have some half-price appetizers. That'll surely help you not be angry.
I already got
Yes.
the plate.
So,
right.
Just for clarification purposes, you can't leave the campus with the Gloves of Minor Creation, and you have to, bring them back periodically. But if ever you need them, you can basically borrow them for a short period of time anywhere that is on campus.
Okay, all right.
They're
Good to
too
know.
valuable for them to let leave the campus, and yeah, so.
I'll actually leave them at the workshop then.
Okay.
Now I'm worried to get stolen.
Okay.
I picked up some stuff for our party tomorrow.
What'd you get?
Well, I got some buffalo cauliflower.
Nice.
Yeah, I keep hearing you want some of that, so I picked some of that up.
By buffalo
ranch
cauliflower, she
or
means she
some
bought some
cheese.
cauliflower and some buffalo. Yeah. No, a physical buffalo.
Oh, physical buffalo.
No.
It is cauliflower the size of a buffalo, right? Yeah.
The size of the city of Buffalo.
Nice.
I picked up some other snacks, like a cheese ball and some jalapeno poppers, things like that. I would get ice cream, but I don't think I have a way to store it, so
Sounds
I
good.
didn't want it to melt.
Thanks.
Yeah. And I figure if we're gonna be hanging out at my dorm, then we should make it fun.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah. She's making a party. Maybe some poached eggs too.
Oh yeah, some poached eggs.
Ooh, and tater tots.
I'll make some for you.
Tater tots are the
Keep
best.
them in your pocket. Pop them out when you're hungry. Very portable.
Dude, give me some tots.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I had.
I think
Just
tonight I'm probably gonna practice ukulele on top of Rasmus's angry juggling. I think those sounds will complement each other well.
Oh, the passive aggression is so strong.
Well played. Well played.
Okay. So,
Okay.
the two of you can have a pretty shitty night together.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
And yeah, let's hear Brianna's prayer to the mistress.
Alright, so Brianna's like, I don't know if this is the way to do this, but I'm trying to reach the mistress. My friend Goron says I should seek you out, and my friend Agnar says that in order to learn about you, I need to know some words. I am curious, I must say. I know Goron to be a follower of Sashat, so if he says that I should learn about you, then I trust his judgment.
It's important that we trust our friends, isn't it?
Yes it is.
Trust is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. You can trust people to do a lot of things.
Oh, man.
I agree.
There is kind of a soft breeze that falls upon you in your room, your sealed windowless room, and there is a warm kind of hand rubbing at your shoulder.
It's nice to meet you.
I've been keeping an eye on you for some time. It's nice to have you somewhere where we can chat for real.
I agree. What would you have me do?
I am more concerned with what you would want to do for you, and how much it would mean to you to do it. You see, life is about the things that you do and the things you enjoy, and maybe not even just enjoy. You don't have to just enjoy it. Sometimes it's about the pain you feel, or the sadness that you can't let out, or the misery you might have to keep inside of you until one day it just escapes.
Oh my gosh, he's emo.
Well, I've certainly felt enough of all of those things, I suppose.
But what now? What now fills your heart? I know for your friend Gulran, it's deep longing and love lost.
Yeah. I miss Gulran. I miss my old life. I'm trying to make the best of the situation that I'm in. I don't know of any immediate way to get back to where I was. I'm just trying to take each day as it comes and enjoy it as much as I can.
How does it feel here to you?
In a lot of ways, it feels almost safer. In Sierra Savant, there was a lot of things going on that were dangerous situations, and while there's things going on here too, it just doesn't seem quite so dire as what I've experienced before.
Yes, it is much more relaxed here. When this place was put together, it was designed to be less problem-filled and more solutions-driven, you could say. I personally find that sometimes, though, it gets just outright boring here. There's so little to go out and experience. You're stuck with just experiencing the interactions between people, and sometimes that can get so bland.
That's true. There's not a whole lot of varied experience. I spend a lot of my days either with my party or with the few friends I've made since I've been here.
I'd bet you'd love to get just a brand new and unexpected experience, wouldn't you?
Uh-oh.
I enjoy new
God knows what that
experiences.
is, Steve. Ugh.
Good. That's what brought me to wanting to meet you. I have a bit of a deal for you.
Okay.
I will give you what you want, but I will give it to you at the same request I usually have for people, but I'll make it a little easier for you and maybe a little harder for you. Find a way to surprise me and surprise yourself. And I will share with you a number of things that are due to you.
Okay. I will think on it and try to find a way to surprise you.
Very good. Good luck, Brianna.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, but just to help you out a little bit, I'll be leaving you a little bit of something to think about, to pull from within. You'll see when you wake up in the morning.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
No. It's been nice.
Likewise.
Yeah.
You're creepy.
The mistress is kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm. It hasn't been nice having her here.
All right. So yeah, everyone can rest. Brianna, you will gain access to a spell that I will be putting into your spell list. It is merely a 0th level spell. It's not crazy powerful, but it is very unique, and it is a mistress exclusive spell. If you, within a certain number of sessions, do not complete the request of the mistress, though, that spell will disappear.
The good mistress giveth and the good mistress taketh.
Yes. But I think for tonight, this is where we're going to wrap up.
We were getting so much good drama going on, Steve.
Yeah. Well, you guys are going to meet with the courier during your party next session. And
I like that Brianna's making it a party. That's so cute.
there'll be another visitor as well tomorrow. So
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Is it the mistress?
we'll see.
Or is
Is
it
it
Trent
Trent?
because we called it a party?
Yeah, Trent shows up. He's like, I heard party.
I brought
I
cheesy
broke
puffs.
out.
But yeah, let me hand out some XP. It's not going to be a lot, but this is a good role-playing session. So everybody go ahead and take 800 XP.
I'll take it.
You better, because I'm giving it to you. It'd be offensive for you to just
Jeez.
decline it.
So now we're at 11,245, everyone, right?
Yes. That is what I have for it. I have the same thing you have.
Cool.
It took me a while to get there.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Good night.